Alright, hell yeah. So we have the RMR Phat cat, you know what I mean? And this is kind of the first time I've ever taken it to the wave. I paddled it, let's see, I've gotten to paddle this boat once on the lake, and I'll probably paddle it more on the lake. But anyway, so my thoughts just right off the bat are it's like, whoa, it's just really easy to get turned, you know what I mean? So I have a hard time finding the seam to get into this wave, but there we go. We found where there was a seam so we can get on this wave, and you know what I mean, it's a cat, so it's real stable. It surfs real well. Now, R1ing surfing a cat, I have a hard time like rotating. I can go that direction, you know what I mean, forward paddle strokes I can always get to the right, but now, if I'm on the right side, it's fairly easy to get left too, but if I'm on the left shoulder of the wave, it's real hard to cut back to the right. So, but there's a little hole right there, and we even turn on it, and not this time, but some other times, I'm able to paddle back on it. Alright, so we're just going to have to analyze, you know, just every little surf. So there you go, caught the seam, get in there. There's a hole right underneath me. That's going to be the stickiest, so I can just kind of stay there. The hole is kind of angled to the right, but there you go. Now I can angle to the left. Now this boat has such a long water line and tracks so well that I can stay on the wave. Oh, well, I guess we just got easily kicked off right there. All right, so let's see if we can find that seam. No, we did. No, that was pretty good. But now I'm angled so far left, like I said, it's really hard for me to turn this boat. Like, I think this cat is just a little bit long. It's a little bit big. 23-inch tubes. So, I think it's a really good R2 cat. But for R1ing, it seems it's definitely big. Yeah, you know what I mean? I would probably want a shredder. You know what I mean? Kind of the smallest shredder. That would be what you'd want to R1 with. Or I mean, I'm just thinking lightweight. You want a light swing weight because cataracts are just so stable. You know, they don't turn very fast. So my lake session, I'll post that pretty soon, but it's just really slow to turn. But I can get it up to speed. So that is the nice thing about cats just in general. Now, I'm very new to cats, so this is just kind of my first impressions, first opinions. But see, just right there, I easily get kicked to the side. That's just going to come with, you know, intuitive development. You know what I mean? So like right there, just finding the seam, knowing where square is to the seam, and making sure like one tube's not just going to turn on you. But is this the time that I actually squeeze in? Hell yeah. So I squeezed in. That is the only time I think I actually squeezed in on that left side. But hell yeah. Then we surf over to the right. And we just chill here. And we have a hole right there. And this time, hell yeah, I can even... No, we just get kicked out. There's one time where I can actually turn back into the hole. But look at this. I figured I could have enough speed with this thing. But we'll talk about that maybe more. See how my body position's so far forward? I'm just going to barrel in. That's why we didn't miss. That's why we missed that last one. But that's rivers in general. You know what I mean? If you have a wave, you have to get your weight, the boat's weight, up and over. Like you have to climb it up a hill. You know what I mean? And that just with a paddle stroke, that ain't happening. So that's where... I guess I can just talk about it right now. It's really difficult for me to lean back in this cat, and I'll just have to get used to that. Well, there you go. I'm kind of leaning back, and we kind of worked on that just a little bit. But you can't lean back over the center because on this one there's no thwart. You know, the thwart is low. I think I would want to build that back up because that is the other aspect of this cat that's not super desirable. It kind of squashes in the middle. The thwarts aren't there's no two chambers that hold that are the thwarts. They're just part of the main tubes, and man, it just squishes and it wants to fold in half like a pita. Yeah, so that's one of the huge downsides of this cat. But just with some bracing, you could stiffen it right up. All right, hell yeah. Hey, there we are. We're able to turn back, so we're doing pretty good. You know, I can just ride that hole and turn back. But, I mean, just in the scheme of things, like this, I'm just doing it for the reviews, but yeah, this is kind of boring to me, you know what I mean, compared to my other boat, you know what I mean, my round boat. But I'm just trying to get used to see, just really easy getting peeled out because you have such a long tubes, and I think that's just catting in general, where having oars on a cat, you're really going to be able to hold those angles, you know what I mean, just with a single bladed paddle. That's where, I mean, the fact that you have a cat, a single bladed paddle, everything just feels like, ooh, it's just a little bit big, like you don't need it that big, you know what I mean. You could definitely have it way smaller. You could make just a mini cat. But hell yeah, we're surfing it up. And this is all we do. You know what I mean? We have that hole right there. And heck yeah, I'm kind of able to turn back on. Oh, but I'm on the right side. So at some point, I actually switched to my right side. I should be paying attention to this. So I actually paddle in on the left, and we must have switched over to the right. Holy Toledo. So hopefully you caught that. But yeah, that is kind of what we were working on. Trying to get ourselves balanced and then jumping to the right just so we can actually work on our offside paddling. And just getting used to it. Hell yeah, jump to the right. Let's see. And I think we're just going to get pieced out. Yep, got pieced out on that one. So yeah. And then see right here, ain't happening. You know what I mean? That's 4 inches of water. You would have to get your weight, the boat's weight, up a hill. You know, you just can't paddle up a hill. And then too much angle to the left. So that's the one negative to this boat is, you know what I mean? It's really hard to turn, and you can just get kicked out. All right, so thanks for joining me, and that's a video.